Item 3 is discussing if necessary take action on I-35 capital radiology management agreement and sublease agreement. Right?
Okay, let's talk about the, and y'all have met Eric and Brian, and Leah is our department manager for the radiology department. So I'm going to kind of talk just a little bit about, let's talk about radiology, then we'll talk about therapy, and then we'll kind of talk about them together a little bit. The radiology agreement would be for us to operate a hospital-based radiology department in Cleveland. We mentioned that a little bit. I-35 would be responsible for the oversight of the non-radiology piece of that, but it would be branded with our name on it. We'd have our name, the employees would have our badges on, we'd have our sign there. In radiology, the employees would be, the technical employees would be our employees. They'd be employed by us, be subject to the same rules. All the employees would be subject to the same rules as we're under, but there the radiology employees would be our employees, and from my perspective would report to Leah. That's the way to run. We would offer CT, ultrasound, DEXA, and was there one other CT, ultrasound, DEXA, and I guess radiology, yeah. From a financial perspective, the way the radiology would work is there would be a monthly management fee of $10,840, and that would be paid to I-35, and that would be for their oversight of the facility, the marketing and oversight of the facility. A little bit of a side, the films would be read by a group that, not the group that's reading for us, but it would be, they'd be read by a radiologist, which is contracted, but it would not be the same one we're using here right now. So they'd have to be credentialed on our staff. There's also a fee for us for the lease of the facility and the lease of the equipment, and that's $19,850 a month. And there's two separate agreements: the management agreement, which is a $10,840, and the lease of the facility and the equipment. There's also a 8% of collection fee for coding and follow-up on accounts. We would actually, they would be coded by their coding group, come to us. We would submit them to insurance through our system. They'd come into our system, and the payment would come into our system. You know, we would put that into account, just like we do with the lab outsourcing agreement. There'd be a reconciliation of that on a monthly basis. But if there's any follow-up needed after it's submitted insurance, the follow-up would be by I-35, and that would be the 8% of collections. I guess the point I want to make on this is that there's really two risks on it, or maybe one if you could. The upfront cost to us is that we would pay the facility lease amount would be due on like the first day of business, whenever the effective day of the contract, we would pay that. The monthly management fee would be due by, I believe, the 5th, the following month after the reconciliation at the end of the month. So would the 8% billing fee after the reconciliation of the collections. There then is a management bonus, which has been determined by fair market value, but it's after you're making money and you're generating certain levels of revenue. There is a bonus fee that's paid to the management company, and that's I've got that schedule here, and it starts out at 25%, and it gets higher as the collections grow. I believe up to about 50%. If I say on that. So, but that's really not a risk from my perspective, because when you're at that level, that means that we're billing and collecting enough that is generating a surplus, which we then share. this would be, the physician practice is already there and is in place and has been in place for a number of years. It's, give me the name of it, I'm sorry.
Cleveland Family Medicine.
Cleveland Family Medicine. It's been there for a, and we would have a radiology department inside that facility. Patients come in, they're going to have to re-register. They have to re-register for Glen Rose Medical Center patients, and then we do the radiology piece in there. But it is a practice that is up and going. They have another location.
Everyone, Joshua?
Joshua.
Yeah, they've been over 30 years.
And all that, we expect all the radiology to come in there and be done with us.
They currently see about 600 patients a day.
It's very busy practice. And I've talked with the practice manager over there, talked with at least one of the physicians over there. They're very excited about having really a new service inside their practice, because they're just doing basically radiology right now.
Yeah, they're just doing extra right now.
Before I ask you to approve this one, I want to talk about the other one a little bit, because I kind of want to put them together, let you see the big picture. Any other questions on the radiology piece?
What's the length of the agreement?
The length is initially a 1-year management agreement with a 30-day out. It's a 30-day no fault out on this, and also on the facility equipment release. But it is, this one is a 1 year. The therapy's gonna be 2 years, but it's a 1 year agreement for both the management. Automatic renews unless 90-day written notice is given by either party, but either party can terminate without cause with 30-day notice. There's also a provision in that if there is a change in the regulation, Medicare, Medicaid, we will see Medicare and Medicaid patients there, by the way, we see all payers there. If there's a significant change, we have an opportunity to redo the contract. If we can't do the renegotiate the contract to the satisfaction of both parties, then one another would give the 30-day notice. You want to talk about the other a little bit? Any questions? Any more questions?
If